welcome. Ryan here from Fiscal Finance, and today we're going to go through service purchases. So there's a few ways that we can get to a service purchase page. You can click the plus icon on the top of the page here under Purchases, select Service Purchase. On the left-hand panel under Purchase, you can, under New, select Service Purchase, or you can go to your suppliers, select the relevant supplier, and inside that page, you'll navigate to a service purchase selection. So let's go to service purchase. So purchases, service purchase, and we are creating a draft purchase order. Okay, so let's select our supplier. We require some services from Ryan's Hop Farms. It automatically populates some of these fields with the details that we have put for Ryan's Hop Farms, including the terms, the contact person, the contact name, the address, and so on. Right, when do we want these services by? For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to write today's date. Which account is going to be the expense account for this? Is it going to be inventory? I'm going to write here professional services, include tax inclusive, tax exclusive, and where's the rule being applied from? So I'm going to auto look up the date that I am creating this purchase order for is today, and where's this purchase order created for is going to be here as well. Okay, so remember, we are creating a purchase order. Let's select the services that we want from Ryan's Hop Farms. We're going to say we want some project management from him. It is 1 unit, and he's charging us $360. Now, remember, Ryan's Hop Farms have given us a 10% discount, but if that only applied to his products, and it would be a 0% deposit here. But let's, for argument's sake, say that he gives us a 10% deposit. That means that our total is only $324. Okay, so now we have not yet saved this purchase order. Let's save the draft. Okay, so now the draft has been saved, but now let's authorize the purchase order. Okay, so the purchase order has been authorized, and now we can attribute some extra details to it. Now let's say that Ryan's Hop Farms wants a deposit, and I pay him from a bank transfer. Let's say here it is a deposit. Okay, the date that I've paid it is today. I'm going to say that I gave him a $200 deposit. We've created that in this page. Let's save that. So it is saved. And now we can go, so let's say some time goes past and we pay him again before he's even invoiced us or before we've received the invoice. Let's say that we paid him from our credit card. Let's say that it's the balance, and I'm going to overpay him. So we only owe him $124, but I'm going to overpay him and pay him another $150. Let's create that payment. You can't see it behind my face. Here is a balance credited, $26. I'm going to save that. And now we can go to our invoice page. Now, our invoice hasn't been created. It's not even in the draft phase. Let's go to IMV 0060. The invoice dates, we'll make it for today. Again, you'll change these dates as needed, but the due date is going to be 60 days because that is our term with him. So we have a 60-day term with him, and so the due date is only, in fact, on the 4th. Okay, so let's copy the details from the purchase order. So we see here that we owe him $324. It has been brought down over here. And you can see here that there's a payment section and a use supplier deposit. But before we do that, let's save this draft invoice. And again, it is a draft invoice. The invoice has not been authorized yet. It's still in process because this is orange. So green is completed, orange is in process. We have saved this draft invoice. And now we can use supply deposit. Remember, in our purchase order page, we sent him some money. Let's now use that supply deposit account. We need to authorize the invoice before, not just save it as a draft. So let's authorize it, and you'll get prompted with a use supply deposit account prompt. So you can say yes, and it will automatically take you to that page, or you can say no, and you can select that for yourself. So we'll say that, and it will give you the options now. So these are the payments that we have made to him. Let's use both of them. Okay, and so now you can see here that let's unselect these. If I select 150, it will attribute the whole 150 to his account. And let's say I select the 200, you will see there that the available to allocate is 200, but the allocated amount is 174. And that is because we overpaid him. Let's do it the other way around. We started with the deposit, and so it's attributed at the full 200, and this one's only attributed 124 of the 150. Okay, so let's add and save. And now you can see that the invoice has been completed. The credit notes is available. The manual journals are available. And now if we go to, let's just make sure that's saved. If we go to our purchases, you will see that it has been, the purchase order has been completed, it has been fully billed, and it has also been fully paid. Now, let's say that we want to create another service purchase from Ryan's Hop Farm because we have credited, or we have credit with Ryan's Hop Farms. Let's go to Ryan's Hop Farms. All of the details get put in again. Required by date, we need to select a date. The inventory date, also the expense account, we're going to say here again professional services, and all of those other details stay the same. Now let's create an order. Let's say, let's say that we got project management from him. The price, I can't remember what the price was that we required, but anyway, let's say there's $50. He charges $50 with a 10% discount, and we owe him $45. So let's save this purchase order draft. Let's authorize the purchase order. We can now say that we can go in and say there's a supplier deposit, like create another supplier deposit, or we can go into the invoice section over here, create the new invoice, INV 0061. The invoice date, again, we're just going to write today, and because we have a 60 term account with him, so it'll be 2 months later. Let's copy from the purchase order. Let's authorize this invoice. So we still owe him 45, and again the pop-up came up and says use supplier deposit. Let's select yes, and you can see that the $26 that we have remaining from our previous PO is $150 per deposit is usable. So let's select that $26, and now we only owe him $19. Okay, let's pay him the balance. So we'll pay him out of which account are we paying him? Let's say we send him an EFT or pay him via bank transfer. The reference, we'll just say balance. The date that we paid him, we'll just use today's date. And we owe him, you can't see behind my face, but the balance is $19. So we'll just write here $19, and the balance due becomes 0. We will save that at the top of the page here. Okay, and now you can see that the order has been completed. The invoice rather has been completed. And so if we go into our financials, you can see all of the different. Okay, you can't see it behind my face, but there's a $19 that we paid him via bank transfer. There's the $26 that was applied from our vendor deposits account, and then the $45 that we are debiting the professional fees and crediting our accounts payable because they came from these two transfers. And that, in essence, is a service purchase.